So mwingine akasema
I think tukienda pale tutabuy 2 bundles za Safari.
Ndio shida. So ndio kama zamani.
Ni like tumeenda ni 2 hours hivi. So I think for 2 hours back
product launch. Hata BBA yuko hapa tu mtumia.
BBA umeiona kwa pipi. I think tunaweza tumia kama ziko zimeenda sana 5 GB. Yeah.
Tangazo ndio. Ndio tunaona refresh. Iko fine, sio?
Your link is on.
I think here was a product which I don't know.
Your link is on.
Iko kwa BBA za kutumia.
Nice. Ndio copy.
Okay. Clear.
Ndio maana ina nini?
Ina live kiasi. Ni net.
Ni net. Tutakuwa tu ya Safari continue kwa.
Cool. So inahitaji very fast.
Inahitaji very fast. System manager. Utakuwa ziongea hizo business.
Watoto business
kwa kuzoea.
Ndio the spice effect.
Ndio kinasi.
Lakini ndo
Na Eric.
Ndio iko.
Unatumia?
Sana
Ama ni stas. Wanasio.
I know things. What is script?
Unaweza fanya hivyo. Unaweza enda pale kwa nini? Ni kutumia link kujoin nione venye itaka. I just want to see. Oh, like hadi uongee. Yeah. Unaweza ongea na join. Nataka kusikia hiyo sauti.
Ecosystem manager. What has your experience been so far?
So far, the experience has been very challenging. As you know, this is a very new space.
Yeah.
It's a paradigm shift in the finance sector in Kenya, and it's very challenging even trying to address. You want to address the challenges in the market.
Yes.
You're looking at user experience. You're looking at speed of transaction. You're looking at the cost of the transactions. We're looking how to integrate mobile money because that is what we're used to here in Africa. But we've managed to assemble a very fantastic team, very good research process, and at the end of the day, we have something that we will be using every single day. And yeah, how about you?
For me, the experience has been awesome. It's been a journey. I mean, you know the journey, right?
Yeah.
We've been through a lot, and actually the most interesting part is the amount of effort we've put to ensure that we deliver a product that is ready for the market. Yeah? But the key thing is understanding the use case and utilities that are out here that require solutions to come on board. And Swypt being one of the pioneers that are coming up with a solution that actually the Kenyan people need. Because the agenda must be to democratize the financial services, right? And that's part of the main limitations that are there in the current financial systems. We want full control, full sovereignty over your assets.
Yeah.
But the key thing that is in our utility is to offer self-custody.
Yes.
And self-custody, it gives you a right as a user to have full control over your assets and make decisions financially that are purely decided by you.
Yeah.
And Swypt, we stand at the middle of that because we are integrating a technology that always preaches about decentralization. I know decentralization is a big word and can go a long way until we achieve full decentralization. But we have to find a point where we can marry the two systems, the decentralized financial system and the traditional financial system, to become one. Because it's not all about decentralization coming to fight the traditional finance, it's actually coming to bolster the system that is currently existing.
Yeah.
So I believe Swypt is part of that journey, and I'm sure many Swipes will come up that they are going to also, build things that are going to join the whole ecosystem to become one. And once we achieve that, we can say that the financial industry is open up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe you can correct or expand on this. I usually like to say that decentralization on Kenyan terms is just a tech term for evolution. But now decentralization is now not only to counties and wards,
Kuna question
it is now going into the institutions. Very good that you mentioned self-custody. I've been trying to explain to my father about self-custody.
Is a big word, but it's just have to use a simple tell them that you have power over your own mind.
Yeah.
Because that's what a layman will
We hold the keys.
Yes. You hold your keys,
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's what the evolution is. We all want to ensure that every sector is growing, and empowering people individually is the key in this matter, because the way Swypt is built, it's built mostly to enhance sovereignty over your assets and to bring financial inclusion. I mean, these are the main limitations, like I said, in our current system. But currently where we are at is that we are at a point where people think that this technology is here to fight.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's here to strengthen what we actually have. And when people talk about decentralization and democracy, because the power is vested now to the people are afraid of that. And most of the people that are afraid of that are people in the banking sector. But I'm happy, I got the chance to attend the Kenya Blockchain Conference Center, and I got the opportunity to speak to a guy who's a reporter and an analyst from. He represents banking.
Steve.
Banks, yeah. So what he actually does, he goes around
Hello.
sources for new technologies coming up.
I think I can hear you now
He
clearly.
goes back to all the banking sectors and advises them.
Unaweza ongea?
that are coming up. So his main quest
Sure.
to gather all information about
I can hear everything. It's good.
is the trending at the moment in the
That's
financial
okay.
industry. And he's going to take that information to the banks because they themselves are interested. It means they understand that this technology, what it actually wants to
Steve.
Because it's not about transactions.
Steve.
Yeah.
It's about
Because
wealth creation and financial diversity. And that's what DeFi is all about.
Yeah. I had listened to a conversation before between technocrats and people in the space, and they were trying to decipher about financial inclusion. There's something else they're saying, financial participation. And one of them did mention that mobile money brought in financial inclusion, but blockchain and decentralized finance is bringing in financial participation. Because when you look at value and money, they go hand in hand and they can take different forms. But for many, even my personal journey, this finance journey, you always had the perception that value can only be carried by one form of money, which is cash. But then when you get into the space, when you grow up, you realize, hey, asset is also value. Even money, cash, you can carry it in gold, you can carry it in Bitcoin. So when they were speaking about financial participation, it was about making people be able to access different forms of value and be able to exchange them to live.
Yes.
So that, and I think that's true, and I think that is what decentralized finance is here to achieve. At Swypt, we have been very intentional about integrating mobile money, and I don't think we're stopping there. As you've said, to strongly put it out that decentralized finance is not here to fight.
Yes.
Decentralized finance is here to enrich, and it is here to empower. the technology itself is not about transactions. These decentralized autonomous organizations, even the conversation we're having in the country with finance, people asking about how can we make sure that we increase transparency in the government. But we all know that in the blockchain space, we all know that blockchain can solve that. We all know that if we decide the treasury to use blockchain, we can all see how many transactions we make every single time in real time. Are they ready to use that technology for that purpose? I do not know. But I think you cannot stop something that is meant to go mainstream.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And I'm happy you spoke about various assets. I've heard you talk about real asset like gold. Yeah, and that's a very great use case that is coming in.
Before the link. Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, so I was just saying, it's interesting you mentioned real assets because the current limitation that we have is that there's so much liquidity locked up somewhere, in these assets that you're talking about,
Yeah.
that people even have a way on how I can liquidate my assets. Like I would have a watch, but a watch is only valuable if it's if it's somewhere, right? And the value is being used, right? But most people have expensive watches, but they store them in safe and expect one day I will liquidate it. But right now, with the technology we have, including with assets and platforms like Swypt, where we are able to integrate with various financial instruments, it's going to be a game changer. Why? Because we're going to be at the forefront of ensuring we've unlocked this liquidity that is stuck. So let me just give you one use case. For example, tokenization of gold. I'm sure you've heard about U-Tribe and what they do with their gold international fungible token, which is a token backed by physical gold somewhere. That's a great use case because if you're able to match one token on chain and one gold, units of gold somewhere, it means you can be able to move your gold at any time you want through that tokenized assets, right? And this is just gold, but we are looking at a broad spectrum of many assets, even real estate itself, because many people own land and land is stuck, you don't know how to liquidate. If you can tokenize your land, come to a digital lending platform, use that as collateral, open up more liquidity from it.
Yeah.
You see such use cases,
Yeah.
and this is what we actually need, because most of the time right now we are all dependent on our traditional financial sector, where everything is just stipulated and agreed upon at the banking side, yeah. But through this, it means my asset, my choice. I'm going to take my asset. I have a decision whether to tokenize it and borrow against it. And these are the type of use cases that we see are going to open up the market for everyone. Right now, we know our country operates with microservice loans. Yeah? We have farmers, we have small businesses who want to scale. But how can they do that? And you'll find that most of these guys are owning pieces of assets somewhere just lying around. Yeah. And for me, I would encourage that all builders within the space, let's come together, let's build solutions that actually people need. Don't just build solutions because I'm a builder. I'm building a solution because I've noticed that there's a need somewhere. And right now, we're not very need. Let's open up this liquidity, and even it will empower people economically, and at the end, boost the economic growth of our country. Because once liquidity opens up, what does that mean? More investment are going to flow into the country, right? Exactly. So for me, I'm into use cases that are actually solving real world problems. And right now, we know we have a problem in the country. There's minimal investments coming in. There's a lot of taxation regimes coming up that are hindering and creating barriers all over the place. So we as builders and creatives and innovators, let's have workarounds that are going to allow people to access what they need. And I'm happy that Swypt is positioning itself to that point because we've modeled a product that is ready to integrate in any ecosystem.
Like 1,000 ways.
1,000 ways.
And what about the music industry? Do you think we can tokenize the music industry?
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. If you have a piece of album that is expensive, you know, you're a musician, you can value the album, right? Exactly. If you tokenize that album, you give it value. People will want to access it. I can buy part of the album and become an investor.
Yeah.
That's why I say this is not a business of just transactional service. It's a business of accessing loans for your business, accessing investments, and at the end of the day, it's an option to create wealth and diversity.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing, guys, is just let's build real world use cases. Yes.
Sawa, iko sawa. Hebu cheki hiyo nini hiyo bwana, lakini labda unaweza pata hata iko late.
Umetuma?
Kwa yani live tu, kwa live stream.
So, nicheki bana gani?
Like kuna nini na move hapo chini ile ya scroll.
Nakushukuru.
Hebu jaribu kunini kulista. Si yangu inaonyeshana au unaona hapo chini?
Man, sioni.
Mbona? Imekuja.
Yeah, imekuja. This is good. Tunaweza ongeza maneno.
Maneno.
Kama our expresses, LinkedIn na websites.
Yeah.
Ile update.so.io.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, our X.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I'm trying to, give people a taste of what.
Na natari nini Bill Armstrong.
Hebu kuja usiongezea hapo hivi.
Comment.
I
told you to join this.
Kuna wasi wanaona live? Hapo hivi. So let me say adabana. Unasema
Sijui maneno yenye
yeah.
So kwa maneno mengine.
Yeah. So nataka tuone www.up.swypt.io Swypt ama Swypt then
from there andika Swypt unaweza
kuweka nini iko hii button ya ndio tuweke atom hiyo sauti na nimeget mbona hiyo inaitangwa aje echo yani like ukinini hiyo sound inakuwa kunakuwa ni kama loop yani ina record ile sound ina nini capital I small m
so Swypt.io na tu Swypt.io
niweke at Swypt.io
lazima ni Swypt.io
Swypt
capital S
Swypt.
bado iko live
it's
Swypt. Okay, Swypt
space
capital hiyo
capital S
Mr. Steven, Chief Product Officer, Swypt. One of the great men within our system, yeah. Mr. Steven, our security guy. You're live, bro. Say hi to him.
unataka
ama colon after
Yeah, so everyone is there to watch your work.
Ama I feel like tunakaa kwa juu tukia nini zitakuwa mingi. Ama okay then.
X ndio ikisa at Swypt. It's actually fast. It's like 2 seconds.
Imekuwa fast. Yeah, nice. I think ni
Sounds small.
then
Nimekosea. Swypt.io. Swypt.io.
awesome. Ni Swypt.io, si ndio?
It's small s. Twitter imepanga small.
So ni LinkedIn na Twitter.
Twitter mwenyewe.
So Stephen, I had a few questions for you. We want to talk about how this space has
Kuna
been
ingine hebu tuone kwanza venye inakaa.
and our journey so far. I had a very good conversation with our ecosystem manager. Now for you, I would like to understand as a chief product, as in you've been the guy driving everything, right? You've been the guy driving the product and how to model it, getting into the market. Now, our users would like to know like how the journey has been when it comes to product development and how the cycle has been so far.
I think saying it that saying okay, to make it a one thing, one statement, response is another statement. So it's been quite uphill, but also uphill. Trying to understand different perspectives of different users, different demographics is quite uphill. So because the challenge is building a product suited for the hotel market more than the situation. Is the fact that it's a very detailed process to find a way in which you can find intersections between different groups of users. So it's crazy. Yes, we've done quite a lot of work with different users, test users across the country. So I can say it's been a thrill.
Inakuja kitoka.
I really enjoyed it. Learned a lot. So I really can't wait to put the product back for. This is the kind of alafu si all the time.
We just want to
See all the time.
Tuseme kama wanaanza conversation.
Yeah.
Inakuja challenge coming sliding. This challenge inaonyesha ya Davis.
I have quite a few.
Inakuja this
I
other
think
Shida ya hii nini? Hii platform huwezi move lower that.
hawezi move lower
Lakini inaweza
enable na kudisable the side of iteration during the live to build something put it out the platform. Kama ni hivyo better kukuwa kiwewe.
actually hata nimeona hata ukia space ina
after putting it out there for that
yani nikaa ina
so I think that uphill journey of interacting with different people who are using the product, giving you suggestions, trying to make
Davis
specific
so
demographic recommendations. We are at least Davis, like through intervals of 3 minutes. Intervals of 3 minutes. So ukionyesha Davis in intervals of 3 minutes, the next interval unaonyesha the other stars the biggest talent. So unaonyesha inakaa for 30 seconds to 1 minute.
So
actually hata itabidi ni move to manual
creating a product that is
kuna such kind of
flexible
Kuna such kind of
hii
Ndio maana
platform
finding a quick use case
engine ndio
because the market changes very
hii platform ni fiti lakini inakuanga na some yani wanafaa get some
OBS.
OBS
Yes, ni open source but
I'm happy starting with
hadi mimi kuna time kuna tumia OBS studio
kuna a lot of dependent kuna a lot of settings.
lakini the reason nilitumia hii ni juu sana sana hapo kwa kujoin watu wale Unaona hapa unaweza tumia unaweza kuja hapo useme invite, uklik utumie mwenye anataka kuinvite. Lakini ukitumia OBS itabidi uchukue ama ya Google Meet. So Google Meet ileta OBS Studio, then OBS Studio nayo OBS Studio sasa ipeleke live. Lakini unaona kai kila kitu kikiwa pamoja yani inafanya hata quality isiishe. Unaona kama bado sijatumia inaitwaje hiyo card capture card. So like
I was speaking to
hii siwezi edit hapo hivi. Bika akawa unaweza improve ni hapo.
on this startup that yo Mike, what's the startup that Vincent owns? Yes. Yeah. So they they take two people to understand how the tech sector is.
Yeah.
They learn Web3, Web2 technologies. I was telling him this last Friday that if you are able to solve the issue of education and sensitization and create user adoption, you're going to become a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You've overlooked a sector that is actually what we need. I remember I told him that all these guys I meet in every event, it's the same faces that I see.
Yeah.
How? Why is that?
Yeah.
It's because a small fraction of people really understand what we're actually doing.
Exactly.
But we need to, because we're solving issues that are out there, issues that are there for everyone.
Yeah.
So we actually need to make people understand
Hapa inaonyesha
the use case itself.
5 people watching, that means
Yeah,
like
but then again, we need to
YouTube.
bring, you see, like how
Hapa inaonyesha like there are 5
sharing knowledge
people
has been
watching.
over time.
5 people watch.
YouTube ni 3.
It
So
has
lazima
been
wawili ni
such that if you are
Inaonyesha
outside
kabisa nani
that
ina watch from which platform.
community or
inaonyesha
circle,
mtoto.
it's a bit hard for you to understand what is
Mtu
happening.
anajua na watch.
Lakini
Mimi na watch, mimi na watch.
So we need to like take it out of a particular context and put it in so simple that people can clearly understand
kuna nini
what blocks
OBS like advantage ingine hapa
what are not
ni like unaona you can live stream like
so yes there are several
at once
educational
like Facebook,
initiatives
YouTube,
happening right at the moment.
LinkedIn, X,
But we need to like
Sort of
get it
things.
out of the context of the Web3 mind to a common
so
African
kitu ingine
mind.
nafikiri ni
So,
go
which was also a critical challenge for us. How do we tell someone what is
So those are not everyone can understand.
challenge ingine
And I'm happy, I would love to bring up the guys from ICP. I love what they're doing because they move all over the country.
Yeah.
Bring that sensitization.
I mean, I actually posted
how
one
everything we
time
feel.
that
When
the
you kianza the event, when
that
you
appreciation now
when you
for
doing more things.
Kusema kuna kuonyeshana.
it's not just community events, but these are events that
I wish
are meant
when
to
they create kama
creative
others.
sharing knowledge
Nazo
and
ni
skill
mock-up.
around Web3.
Kuna mock-up
The
yenye
manner that
Ile
it's
nimekutumia.
easier to just plug in.
sasa.
Exactly.
So
for me, I will encourage
you
you
to need to ingia kali. Ataonyesha
also
product
focus on that side because it's easier for
Wacha
someone
wasome
who
record
is
screen.
an expert in the industry to go on
Ukisha
there
record
and
screen.
explain to
Unaona ile video
a
nimekutumia?
normal
Ile
Kenyan
part ya
out there why they should adapt.
template online.
We can say Swypt is a
You can just
prepared person.
replace video in
But
screen.
Nobody
So
has
ukishamaliza,
understand
we
that. The only people who
do
understand
further.
themselves in the space who knows
You
how to
can switch
transact a
from
MetaMask, who can
from the
open a
order to
MetaMask
get
account,
product,
can start a private keys,
pause,
and do all of those different transactions that are very, you know,
What if like tuseme
crazy for just
tuonyeshane from a phone like
Yeah.
ukitumia account yako.
So
Then
for us,
tuseme
I think
kitu
it's part
tai
of our roadmap
tuleta
that we are going to be part of and get the forefront of guys who are going to ensure that this technology is out
Yeah,
there.
inatokea
Everyone
fiti.
can understand it in the simplest
Yeah.
way.
I think tutanini hivyo.
And the important thing I'm happy about is that we are building under a certain what do you call it? Hypothesis or rather like work. How can I say it? So because we are trying to make it such that it's a product which makes it so easy to use. That as much as you're trying to give it, you can simply use the product as much as it's a new concept.
Yeah, without even getting giving people a smooth, a seamless you have set so much questions, but it all comes down to credibility.
Actually, I think it's almost
Brings in another topic, which is regulations, compliance.
because na kustoa
Compliance is quite key, and I'm happy that we are
because
also
sasa
at the forefront of ensuring that
these people watakuwa wanajoin aje na Google.
and for all those guys who are in this space,
Oh, from streaming alafu inaweza onyesha
because how
sasa.
can you create a because if the government doesn't recognize your exist, how you even operate at the same time. So people actually
So,
like there once they hear
lakini kitosheni lakini
skepticism gets into them. But we are at a point now that we understand the technology is here, the use cases are here, and people have to build and bring that, an intersection point between the traditional finance and the DeFi.
Yeah.
So I would encourage that let's showcase our product to these guys. Let's showcase our government to understand the tech and the solution is transformed. So that even as you go through all this process of regulations, it's actually they're regulating something that is something that we actually need.
so nikikuwa utaongelea
I
tu
think we have to appreciate the work we've done with Kenya, Nashua,
So we are big up
to see
unaona hata unaweza onyesha na product nini comments hapo
and
hivi
also people in the legal space, because I think those guys are really done a good job.
Show the
Care and such stuff. Guys,
kuna option nyingine ilikuwa inasema
Okay,
you can
okay,
you
so,
can show comments on the nini
it's good to have like such
Hapa on the
people in
stream.
the industry.
Yeah.
By the way, that's
Unaona-
nice.
unaona hii inakuwa very
Out there.
Yeah, it's very nice.
now
Inaweza kuwa automatic.
But I think at this point,
Mhm.
because of
Yeah,
such
yeah, look
initiatives,
between-
I think East Africa has
as
become,
inahitaji msee akiwa hapa hivi
Imagine, yeah, this is
Yes.
when it comes to
studying the
blockchain,
guys streaming. Okay, streaming.
I'm really proud to be
Yeah.
Kenyan.
Expertise ndo
Mm.
inakulanga pesa mingi.
Yeah, maybe we can
Imagine kama
speak about the utilities that are within
Watu
the
wangekuja na
product.
msemo mwingine. Kamera si lazima kuja na mtu.
I understand you're offering a lot, but can you give us because it's a product you built,
So hizi comments zinaweza onyesha on the other
give us
side.
the greatest
Lakini
utility
hiyo-
that you
hiyo
have
ingine-
at the moment.
zinaonyesha zikitokea hapa
Our roadmap is quite
zinafaa kutokea hapo kwa YouTube
Yeah,
Ndio nasema kusikuwe this way.
We start from the other side.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
let me see if
so beginning from just the features that we have. So basically, you can be able to make payments.
Yes.
So the virtual assets that you have, for example, you may have some USDTs, some USDCs, USD, but not across all the machines that you have. So you can be able to make payments with them. So, for example, you may be trying to make a big purchase of a certain hardware. So they have a payable active number. You can be able to make a payment there. You see, you can be able to pay for Matatu. You see, you can pay for food at Chicken Inn and whatnot, KFC. You can be able to probably send your mom or send a friend some cash to the M-Pesa if you have USDT in your self-custody wallet. And the kind of custody wallet that we're talking about is in self-custody wallet that exists
Yes.
in the world. Yeah. So, for example, we have
nice,
Trust Wallet,
nice.
we have Trust Wallet, we have MetaMask, we have a Binance Web3. Yeah. So we basically want to be all parties on board, so at least we can ensure we have a quality experience on the app for every user who's trying to interact with the blockchain. So in the reverse as well, they can able to buy crypto or rather buy virtual assets with Swypt as well. So if you have a person, you can able to buy some USDT,
the comments are really good.
and have it in wallet.
Yeah, so for me, I don't like saying, I don't like telling people that
It's too limited.
we are trying to
You
exchange.
cannot move the
Settlement
comments.
exchange. But what we've actually managed to do is to create an automated peer-to-peer system.
Lakini the good thing
So you don't
ni
have to care
ukiweka
about the
zote
end of the transaction.
inajileta.
All you just need to do is to care about how much your amount is going to be received.
Iko sawa cause
And our
Since
product
itakuwa
what
tuna
actually
hide.
does is
like the
brings all the peer-to-peer
Since
channels
itakuwa tuna hide.
Yeah, by the
to one place.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you don't have to worry about how the liquidity is moving. All you need to just do is create a
Testing
pool.
everything. Yeah, sawa. And
Yeah,
I want
audio
to,
was sawa.
like, encourage all
yeah.
peer-to-peer merchants
So
of
chenye
the
tunafaa
to come on board.
wenye wanafaa kujoin ni
So
all you start
because
to make a
basically
guess.
what Swypt does,
like,
we talk about
Lakini
the
I
currency
guess-
equal to the markets too. And it simplifies the work.
Oh,
It ensures security.
Sasa
And,
ushani
And through the platform, you get like quality pricing as well. So, and on the user side, to stay a particular end.
So it's like nikiitisha swali, I'm going to state.
So
Then I'm like,
it's also
yeah, I have a question.
quality pricing. You can want to like do transactions of whatever size. Okay, there are of course limits,
Yes.
but then at the same time, you don't have to worry about can I access P2P, for example. See? So good
kuna
pricing,
nini ya stick
availability,
kuna overlay ya stick
security. Yeah.
nini
You have to
overlay
worry
ya
about
stick
and being caught in the matter who is transacting sending like less cash. So I think we have so many different experiences with P2P that it's sometimes really good. I think Swypt, because of the aspect of automation, it simplifies everything to do with payments. From virtual assets to fire to from fire to virtual assets.
So he's also spoken about Swypt people managing access to in terms of access. And that's something that we will have a conversation with the team. And why is this? Because we want to ensure that there's predictability and there's resilience. Yes.
So we are testing that.
Wow.
Whereby you call video like another user is
si kwa hiyo scripts kuna hiyo session ya unauliza maswali so
unauliza maswali tu user na unasikiza kama au ni maswali za kwa ni maswali za nani
Hizo maswali tunauliza mimi nauliza kule hivi. Sidhani kama kuna users will be giving feedback or comments. Yeah, comments.
also ni ile like unauliza like swali like rhetorical question ama ukiuliza swali inakuwa aimed kwa
Say we go into specific people.
or to
yeah kwa team.
Yeah, but
What?
So for the first 30 minutes meeting
or like tini kwa sio wenye wanajenga
so like for example like maybe is the matter kwa kuenda kupanga sababu kama so like you look at different things maybe can link on can what can system like you so for like for like 30
yeah, and
minutes
then once we showcase the users, then we can comment or comment, yes, or comment, and then we see kama kuna swali hivi.
I think after this session we can go to like address some
lakini hakuna ile ile msiako wale have a conversation
no because you have yes
or I guess na hiyo virtual inakuwa unamuuliza swali ama yeye anaongea tu
Tunauliza swali, tunaongea. Sasa
conversation nani
Nina kuvacho just
what Alex
Alex tako wacho.
ali confirm
fanya hivi hebu kuja hapa hivi nataka tujaribu na mic tuone nini so kuja hapa hivi ili uweze kusikia hiyo sound so unaweza nataka kujoin na so itakuwa ni kama ikana kuuliza maswali sasa unaweza keti tu hapo hivyo
so
yeah. So for instance So yeah, I think tuko set. Just Hai. Sasa. Sasa hiyo nimeweka wacha tufanye. So hii sound iko hapa umesikiza na hizi. Sasa wacha tuanze.
Back to stage.
Back to stage. Sasa tunataka we have a conversation.
Wonderful, wonderful. Mic
So-
check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Okay.
So I think
Kuna volume?
Eh?
Naona kuna msee anasema kwa comment kuna volume.
hakuna volume.
Hiki ndio saundi yako.
I think ni juu wako wanasikiza hivi.
Okay.
Sasa hivi tujaribu. Sasa we have a conversation. Sijui kama unasikia mimi.
Simsikii. Mic zako ni kwa mute.
Oh,
I
ako
can
mute.
hear you correctly, loud and clear. So I think you should also test the lower third for the guest
No,
as
correct.
well.
Eh?
Your link.
Si kwa iko live. Disconnected.
I can make a literally work like
Think iko connected sawa tutuendelee.
this.
Mic check, mic check.
Sio ndo domain yetu ama? Work either way. Try on your phone. But I think tutatoa www because si lazima. Yeah. Like, nasikia kila kitu.
Oh, sasa hebu jaribu start hapa kwa mguu.
So, unaweza mwambia tu hiyo but na watu either way.
Yes, unamsikia?
Okay, namsikia.
Sasa hebu jaribu kwa hapa some kind of a conversation. Oh, ni sauti nini kwa chini?
Tunaona ni upload step there.
Yes, mic check.
Anyway, mwambie basi.
Mic check. Hello, Mike. Can you hear me? And it's out.
This is very clear.
Yeah, those sweaters are legit. Yeah, apart from the t-shirts.
Do you have mic for the stage?
So, I can see you clearly, bro. Hello, Mike. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm very much happy to have you here today. You're stuck, man. Okay. So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, Mike, it's nice to have you on the platform. Welcome to Swypt podcast. Maybe you can give us a brief intro about yourself for those who don't know you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Davis. My name is Michael Kazungu. I am the ecosystem manager at Swypt. and my responsibilities have been to integrate, decentralized finance and traditional finance using mobile money. And I can say that a good job has been done there. We have been able to integrate these two realms of finance. And now that the bridge has been made, it is time to expand this um, technology to different use cases. And as the ecosystem manager, we have made sure that Swypt can be used in 1,000 ways. It's a simple app, but used in 1,000 ways to create wealth, to facilitate transaction, cross-border payments, different utilities like real-world assets, and trade across borders.
Perfect. Yeah. And I have a very critical question for you that I would love to understand. Is we've modeled a product that is able to integrate with various ecosystem, and you as the ecosystem manager, I would really love to understand like what are the approaches and strategies that you implemented to ensure that Swipe is actually able to serve various financial diversities and reach various use cases within different jurisdictions, different ecosystems. So how are you able to achieve this?
First of all, when you're building a DeFi, a decentralized application, a DApp,
Check who won it.
one of the very first one of the very first principles of building decentralized applications is to make sure that they can able to integrate to other ecosystem players and other ecosystem players to be able to integrate. So the difference between Web 2 and Web 3 apps is just Web 3 apps are open. You can use a lot of strategies to do that. One of the very simple strategies to open up your application to the rest of the world, to the rest of the ecosystem, is by the Connect wallet. I don't think we have ever interacted with a decentralized application that does not have a Connect wallet. Why? It is a standard now. It is a standard because you can't build a decentralized application that is just working for you. People have to be able to play around, you know, and that strategy we have used on Swipe has made it sure that a Binance user can be able to use Swipe, Trust Wallet users can be able to use Swipe. And the other thing now, once you have made sure that you have integrated the application to the Web3 world, now integrating now the application to the Web2 world, especially in the finance sector, is mobile money. And the mobile money is what we're using here in Africa. So we have a very good, robust banking system, but that has been able to be, expanded by mobile money. Mobile money in the last 2 decades has been able to include a lot of individuals into the finance sector. Those two strategies, uh, opening up the ecosystem by integrating different wallets in the decentralized world, and then integrating the mobile money world. These two simple approaches has made us sure that Swipe can be able to be used by people in these two different realms. Now, when you look at utilities, how is Swipe um, being able to support different ecosystems? I, I can speak not only about finance, I can start speaking about trade. Now, when when you look at imports and inputs, for example, we are talking about settlement issues. I mean, if you've been following the news, BlackRock have been, having issues. They did say that there's issue about settling simple application like Stripe. They were able to open up the trade area, sharing the bars of all the African continental trade areas. Now with Stripe, you can be able to send funds if, if you're an importer and exporter, you can be able to send funds across borders in seconds. Uh, as a checkout system can be used by e-commerce platforms so that they can be able to make payment uh, settlements in seconds or minutes. So yeah, you can see a simple web application that is being used in 1,000 ways by just integrating with the principles of decentralization.
Wonderful. You've spoken about cross-border, and part of our aim and vision is to ensure we've created an advanced platform that is able to, you know, cater for cross-border solutions. Yeah, making them more robust and actually serving the need for people who are doing trade abroad and having that global mindset. So, Swypt being able to integrate with various ecosystems and various jurisdictions, we understand that currently we are serving the needs of people who actually use mobile money. And you know, mobile money is quite advanced in the region that we're in, which is the Eastern African region. But if you look at other regions, like if we're going to have that global perspective, there are other regions that payment systems like Google Pay, Apple Pay really thrive in the banking sector. So if we can model a product that is able to integrate all those things together and to become one, can't you see how much we are going to achieve when it comes to bringing that inclusivity that we're talking about in the public?
Yeah, as I've said, and I am I am a champion of utility cases in decentralized finance. I mean, I did not just get into decentralized finance to look look for the next 100x or 1,000x. I've always been a champion of utility cases. And just speaking about trade, here in Africa, our region, we have a challenge of accessing a very big market. Why? We have payment infrastructures that are not very robust, that are not very fast. It is very, very difficult for people to settle payment. We know that you have to exchange it into a dollar and then you pay, and then the other person, they exchange it back into their local currencies. Integrating mobile money, integrating even the banking system and other payment infrastructures into place is going to make sure that I can be able to buy a Ghana apparel just online, pay it in my own local currency in seconds, and be able to receive my goods and services in same-day delivery or two-day delivery without having the need to go into the long process of doing the payment settlement. I'm looking at Swipe in that way. Swipe can be used by major, trade players, like importers, exporters, banks, the Africa Continental Trade Area, things like that. You open up the bigger markets for Jumia to access, for Copia to access. One of the very big challenges is always that these big e-commerce platforms cannot be able to make fast payment settlements, because by making fast payment settlements, you are able to access a very large market. And that's what I'm looking forward for Swipe to make an impact in the in trade, in intra-Africa trade. As you said, we are here right now in East Africa, and you've started here in Kenya, but I can tell you the future is bright. As I've said, and the late said, a simple web application that can be used by 1,000 ways, that can go on and on about the different use cases and the different ecosystems that we are able to integrate. I have a long list of different areas: banking, trade, import, export, counterfeit, supply chains, all these sectors. And I'll give you a simple use case. This popular car dealership called Kai and Cairo. He always speaks about selling cars to the rest of Africa, but you're gonna have to need a very fast payment settlement system for someone who is in Ghana to be able to buy your car here in Kenya. So you have to be able to have a very robust system for import, and it usually starts with payment. If someone in Ghana can be able to use Swypt, to be able to pay very, very fast for the car, and then, automating the whole trade ecosystem, and Swypt, we are here to do that.
Yeah, on that same thought about trade, I would like us to speak about something we've had the various conversations about, which is concerning the African free trade area that that will allow cross-border movements of goods and easing up the trade sector, because movement of goods within Africa can have various challenges, various barriers to entry. And the purpose of this project is to open up all gates that have been closed to allow goods and services to move freely within our continent. So, Swipe, we want to position ourselves in such programs where we are able to deliver such through our technologies, because we understand as trade moves, it means money is moving in and out of various economies. And us being a transactional based product that not only does that, but also creates value for traders, value for individuals, value for businesses. How are we positioned when it comes to that?
Yeah. So uh, when you look at the papers and the materials that have been provided by the African Union Secretariat and the Africa Free Continental Trade Area Secretariat, and one of the biggest conundrums, the biggest goal is to be able to open up the market. Right? If I have a business here in Kenya, I am maybe accessing a market of, let's say, roughly 50 million. Let's take just the population of Kenya. I have a business and I have access to 50 million. You can make a lot of money, but look at bigger economies. Look at US. How much are they able to access the market? Look at China. Look at Alibaba as a business. How are they able to access the market? They are able to access a very, very big market. One of the very biggest goals of the free continental trade area is for allowing businesses to be able to access very, very huge market, not only in Kenya, but it's going to make businesses here in Kenya have access to the Nigerian market, have access to Senegalese market and all these. Now, the challenge is now payment settlement. We do not have a single currency yet. So the challenge here is like, how do I pay for goods and services from other countries, and how can I seamlessly access them? So a structure has already been put in place. We have the e-tariff, that have already been put in place. We have central banks, and have the Africa Exim Bank uh, that uh, is a player in payment settlements. Now, for that system to fully work, it's not going to work only with Africa Exim Bank and the central bank. We need fintech, and we are going to position Swype to be one of the very, very fast fintech to be able to support this move for the whole continent, because this this is how people, you as the CEO, you speak about wealth generation, but you can only, as a business, you can only generate so much wealth if you're able to access wider market. Instead, we are going to position ourselves as a payment settlement fintech company for the Africa continental trade area to be able to businesses access a very wide market of 1.2 billion, away from the 50 million. If your revenue was 100 million per year, all of a sudden, by accessing a wider and a larger market, revenues are now jumping like 10 fold. Just like that, just by being able to sell your goods across Africa. And as a payment solution, we are positioning ourselves for this bright future. It's a long project for 2063, but a product like Swipe is even going to accelerate that to even 2040, something like that.
Yeah, thank you for that. I also understand that for this to work, it actually needs various partnerships.
Tuenda mama.
Sasa
Leo nikiongea na mzee
tunaongea forever. Lakini ilikuwa bit down, sijama ni ama nini.
Oh, sound yake unasikia ikiwa chini.
kwa sababu yangu nasikia chini. Mimi niko sina mic hapa. Unajua natumia simu ikiwa hivi, so sina microphone ama nini.